Most dog owners have seen it happen at least once. Your dog spots a patch of grass, drops their whole body onto it, and starts rolling around like they're having the best moment of their life. And you're standing there wondering what on earth is going on. I'm Jhonna, and welcome to Jhonna Unfiltered. This is my learning diary about life, pets, and the things that make me genuinely curious. I'm not a veterinarian or a professional animal behaviorist. I'm just someone who pays close attention to animals and likes to understand the things I observe. So everything I share here is based on reading, research, and real life. And today's topic came directly from real life. I live in the countryside of the Philippines, and out here, it's normal to see dogs roaming freely. They're not all on leashes. Some of them are guard dogs, some are community dogs, and many just move around the neighborhood on their own. And something I've noticed is that quite a few of them have this habit of dropping onto a patch of grass and rolling around with what can only be described as pure joy. My own dogs do it too. I have two Aspens, which are Filipino mixed-breed dogs, Shiro and Rukawa. When I take them outside to the front yard, even if it's just for a short time, they'll run around and chase each other, and when they find a good patch of ground, down they go. They roll, they squirm, they rub their backs and necks into whatever they've found. And they look genuinely happy doing it. So I started wondering, what is actually happening when a dog rolls on grass? Is it always the same reason? Does the type of grass matter? And is there something specific about the sensation that triggers it? Let me share what I found out, because it turns out there are actually several different reasons dogs do this, and not all of them are the same. The first and most common reason is scent. Dogs experience the world primarily through smell. Their sense of smell is estimated to be anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 times more powerful than a human's. That's not an exaggeration. It's what makes their relationship with their environment completely different from ours. When a dog rolls on something, one of the things they're doing is picking up that scent and carrying it on their body. This comes from an old instinct. Before dogs were domesticated, their wild ancestors would roll in strong smells, whether that was animal scents, carcasses, or other environmental odors, as a way to mask their own scent when hunting. The idea was that if they smelled like the environment or like prey, they'd be less detectable. That instinct hasn't fully disappeared. Even a well-fed pet dog with no need to hunt can still feel that pull to roll in something that has an interesting or strong smell. This also works in reverse. Sometimes a dog rolls on grass to transfer their own scent onto the environment. It's a way of marking a space as theirs, of saying, "I was here." This is especially common in dogs that haven't been neutered or spayed, but really any dog can do it. The second reason is physical sensation. Grass has a texture that many dogs find genuinely pleasant against their skin and fur. When a dog rolls on grass, they're getting stimulation they can't give themselves in other ways. Scratching their back, rubbing their neck, getting that satisfying pressure on spots they can't reach. It's not so different from when a person stretches out on cool ground on a hot day and just feels relief. The specific qualities of grass that seem to attract dogs are freshness, moisture, and softness. Newly cut or recently watered grass tends to be cooler, which feels good especially on a warm day. The individual blades create a gentle pressure that can feel like a kind of massage along the back and sides. And grass that's slightly damp carries more scent, which makes it doubly interesting for a dog. That said, the grass itself doesn't have to be a specific type or variety. What seems to matter more is the condition of the grass. Cool, slightly wet, springy grass tends to be more appealing than dry, flat, or rough ground. My dogs lost interest in the front yard once we cleared the grass and the ground became harder and less textured. That tracks with what the research suggests. The third reason is that something specific on the grass has caught the dog's attention. This is the one that can be a little less comfortable to think about. Dogs are sometimes attracted to the smell of other animals' animal waste, decomposing material, or insects in the grass. And when they find something that smells particularly interesting to them, the rolling response is a way to really engage with that smell, to get it all over themselves. As a human, you might find this baffling or disgusting. But from the dog's perspective, it's a highly rewarding sensory experience. That smell, whatever it is information-rich to them. It tells them about what animals have been in that space, what has happened there, what the environment holds. Rolling in it is a way of fully absorbing that information. The fourth reason is simply that it feels good. Some dogs roll because they're happy and energized, and the body wants to express that. Running around, playing, getting excited, and then throwing themselves onto the ground and rolling around is a physical release of that energy. It's joyful behavior. It's not always about scent or instinct. Sometimes it's just the dog equivalent of jumping around when you're in a good mood. This seems to be what I observe with my dogs most often. When they're outside together and in a playful state, the rolling tends to happen in the middle of the play. They'll chase each other, stop, roll, get up, and start again. It feels less like a deliberate sense-seeking behavior and more like part of the overall physical joy of being outside with room to move. The fifth reason, which is less common but worth knowing, is skin irritation. A dog that's rolling frequently and persistently, especially in the same spot and at the same area of their body, might actually be trying to relieve itching or discomfort. Allergies, dry skin, fleas, or something that's gotten into the fur can all cause a dog to seek that kind of physical pressure and friction. If you notice this is happening constantly and particularly focused, it might be worth checking the dog's skin or consulting a vet. Now, you might be wondering whether all dogs do this, or if it's just certain types. The honest answer is that most dogs have the capacity for this behavior because it's rooted in instinct and physical sensation, both of which are universal to dogs regardless of breed. But individual dogs vary. Some dogs are enthusiastic rollers. Some barely do it at all. A lot seems to come down to personality, how scent-driven the individual dog is, and how much freedom and outdoor time they have. Dogs that spend a lot of time outdoors in varied environments tend to encounter more interesting smells and textures and may roll more simply because there's more to engage with. Dogs kept mostly indoors might roll less often just due to fewer opportunities. It's not that one dog is more normal than the other. They're just living in different sensory environments. For dogs in the Philippines countryside specifically, where they have access to grass, soil, garden areas, and the smells that come with rural life, the rolling behavior is probably quite common. There's just more available for them to respond to. One thing worth being aware of as a dog owner is what your dog is rolling in. Most of the time, it's harmless grass. But occasionally a dog might find something toxic, like fertilizers, pesticides, or plants that are harmful to dogs. If your dog rolls in something and then starts licking themselves, or if you notice any redness or irritation on their skin afterward, it's worth rinsing them off and watching for any reaction. In the countryside, it's also possible they've found animal waste that could carry parasites. A regular deworming schedule and flea and tick prevention become especially important if your dogs have that kind of free outdoor access. Aside from grass, dogs will also sometimes roll on carpet, on towels fresh from the laundry, on soil, on sand, and occasionally on something truly unfortunate that you'd rather not name. The common thread is that they're responding to a sensation or a smell that their body finds worth engaging with. The grass is just one version of that. For Shiro and Rukawa specifically, I think the rolling is a combination of the cool texture, the outdoor excitement, and whatever interesting smells have accumulated in the yard from other animals passing through. They're not particularly methodical about it. It's more impulsive. See something interesting, go down on it, rub around, get up, and continue. Very dog. Before I close, I'd love to hear from you. Does your dog roll on grass or other surfaces? And do you have any idea what they're usually going after when they do it? Drop it in the comments because I find these kinds of observations from actual dog owners really interesting, and I bet your stories are more entertaining than anything I could read in a research article. Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I want to be upfront and share that I use this text-to-speech voice to tell my stories because, as a full-time ESL teacher, I have to be very careful with my vocal cords. Managing vocal nodules means I have to save my voice for my students, but I didn't want that to stop me from sharing these unfiltered thoughts with you. I'm Jhonna, and I'm currently working toward my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can finally monetize this channel and turn this passion into a sustainable part of my future. This is my diary of solo living here in the Philippines, and your support, whether through a comment or a sub, helps me keep this channel growing. If you would like to help out even more, you can check out the Buy a Treat for My Pets link in the description. My dogs definitely appreciate the love. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next update. Thank you for being such an important part of this journey. I'm Jhonna, and I will see you in the next one.